Greetings everyone, this is Patrick from patrickcomptusphotography.com. Wanted to do another tutorial today, and this one's regarding downsizing or resampling your images in Photoshop. While I got a moment before we start, I just wanted to thank everyone who's been writing in and giving me ideas for these tutorials. I'm glad you find them helpful, and I'll keep doing them. So keep sending out some ideas, and I'll keep trying to come up with these helpful little tutorials. So let's jump right into this one. We're going to open Photoshop, and there are various ways to downsize or sample an image. You can just go up to Image and then Image Size, and you'll get the window here, and you can type in whatever dimensions you want and then just click OK, and that is one way to do it. I think there's a better way to do it for the web that involves a little bit of sharpening and also some noise reduction, so I'll show you how I do it, and if you like that method, you can feel free to use it. But why would you want to downsize an image? Well, if you're going to print it, you can keep it the same size and do all your normal post-production stuff and get it ready for print. But just sending it out over the internet or the web, places like social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all downsize these images anyway, so there's really no reason to send out a high-res image. And besides, they really wouldn't accept it anyway because a lot of sites don't allow you to upload high-res images. So here are the steps that I use. The first thing, you find the image so you can open that up. I use some sort of commercial noise reduction filter. I have Nik Collection, the older version of it, and I go to Define 2.0, and I like this because it's selective. It doesn't just noise define the whole image. It kind of takes into account and samples everything and then only really picks on the areas that need a little bit of help. So once I do that, I simply click OK. I usually don't change anything up here. I have it measure. I don't reduce. I usually use automatic, and then I just click OK, and it applies it to the image. Now it does make a little bit of an additional layer here, but that's fine. We can always stamp visible or merge that into one layer at the end. The next thing I do while the image is still full size, before I reduce it or resample it or downsize it, is I go up to Filter, I go to Sharpen, and then I'll go to Unsharp Mask. And I'll type somewhere for landscapes or cityscapes. If I've done everything right in camera, I shouldn't have to do a ton, but I'll type in about 100%. I'll leave the radius at 1, and then I'll put the threshold at 3. I don't know if you can see it on screen, but it does give a little bit of pop to the image, so I'll click OK on that. Now I will downsize my image. And what I like to do when I downsize it is now go to the screen, and I'll type in whatever I want, usually 1024 by 768 or something like that, and or I'll let the computer just type that in. See how it changed because I have these linked. But if I just go 1024, it's going to fill in the appropriate things so that the image doesn't look skewed and it retains its dimensions as it was shot. Now, in this resample, I keep that checked so it also automatically I can see the results of it right away. But in this drop-down box, you've got some choices here. Preserve details enlargement or bicubic smoother enlargement. If I'm going to print, I might use one of those. Or preserve the details. I prefer bicubic sharper if it needs a little bit of more pop. Or my favorite is bicubic smooth gradient, so I can check that, click OK, and then it will resample with those images. So now if I bring up my image size, you'll see it's 1024 by 682. But I'm not done. What I want to do with this image, if I'm going to send it out over the web, instead of just saving it, is I'm going to go up here under File, and I'm going to go down to Export, and I'm going to go Save for Web, the legacy version of it. So it's going to bring up the picture, and this just allows you some options that you wouldn't otherwise have if you saved it. I usually choose JPEG High, and I'll make sure that Optimized and Embed Color Profile is checked so that nothing changes from monitor to monitor. Quality, I usually bump this up to around 80%. You can go higher if you want. Any lower than 70, I found it really just kind of distorts the image anyway, so I like 80%. I'll leave Convert to sRGB on. For the preview, I will usually choose Internet Standard RGB so that it'll keep the colors, and I'll keep my copyright data in there as well. And you can see down here under image size, it's already said, hey, he chose bicubic. It's got the 1024 by 682, so it's already sized. Now I can save this. So when I click save, you can just go ahead and click your whatever folder that you want to drop this in. I usually put it in here, and I just click save, and it's as simple as that. Now you've got this image set for the web. You can post it to Facebook or Instagram or any other social media, send it out in an email if you wish, and it'll be a pretty nice sharp JPEG for what they see. So there you have it, a quick little tutorial on how to downsize and sample images. Hope you enjoyed it, and remember, if you guys follow me on social media, I'll be happy to return the favor. Thanks.